Yeah, I'm Randy Weaver. I'm out of Salt Lake City, Utah, on Weaver Customs. And this is a 1970 Barracuda that I built, one-off custom. Well, the car started out as obviously an all-steel car. It was a 340 4-speed car. Perfect one to cut up. But yeah, everything's all steel on the car. There's no fiberglass, and I kind of take pride in doing an all-steel fabrication, of a build. Obviously, the hood is a one-off hood. A lot of man-hours in this hood. And then I also chopped the car, leaned the windshield back about 1.5 inches, flush mount glass, so the stock glass still fits in this car. I just didn't want to change the lines of a 70 Cuda because I think they have the coolest lines, about any muscle car out there. Obviously shaved all the drip rails, or the marker lights, door handles, refabbed my drip rails, obviously, because I didn't want no chrome on the car. I didn't want any shiny stuff. And then move back to the back. Obviously, again, flush mount glass. I think that's just such a killer look for a muscle car. Actually, any car, pretty much. And then the crazy gas cap, I had that made. It's a one-off custom piece, big old in-your-face type gas cap. I should call it a diesel cap. And people are gonna go, diesel? Yeah, it has based on a 2010 6.7 Cummins diesel compound turbo. It makes 1,500 horse to the wheels. About 2,500 foot-pounds of torque. All running, sitting on a Roadster Shop chassis, 9-inch Ford, 35 spline axles. Obviously, big brakes. If you got to go, you have to stop, obviously. But it sits right. Everything's all adjustable coilovers. It's made to handle. And the car weighs. I weighed it 4,600 pounds without me in it, so it's pretty heavy. But there is heavier. It's not like a truck, but it handles good. Wants to stop good, wants to turn good, and that's thanks to the Roadster Shop. They set me up with a really cool package. I'd call this just an old 6-cylinder. Nothing crazy, right? 2010 is actually the year of the block, and they came out in Dodge 1-ton, 3/4-ton trucks. And they actually started with a 5.9, and I want to do the 6.7, just more cubes. So the turbos is a compound turbos setup, which is a small one, meaning a small one feeding a big one. So the small one is an S366, and the big one is an S460. And it'll see 80 to 100 pounds of boost on the street. Has big injectors, moves 65 liters a minute. Dual fuelers, so that means dual fuel pumps as well. Just everything to keep up to feed that engine and that air going to that engine is kind of what we achieve with a diesel, because it's a lot different than a gas engine. Well, on a diesel, gas burns faster. Diesels don't move as good at air as a gas engine. So you'll see like a small block Chevy, a V8 with mirrored turbos, so meaning the same size turbo on each side. So you have to get the small one to kick the big one in gear to make it rock. And that's what gets that 1,500 horse to the ground. So the interior, again, is one-off custom leather, and it's all done by JS Custom Interiors in Salt Lake City, Utah. He does some of the best work out there. Obviously, this is cool. I want a kind of a race European-inspired stitch on these seats, and so that's where we came up with the squares turned sideways. A lot of people think they're diamonds, but it's just like a square turn sideways double stitch, which gives it a really cool look. Obviously, the D-shaped wheel. And then also, I put all my gauges in my shifter. Everything is at an angle. So it's kind of just a different kick. Everything's kind of facing the driver, if you will. And then these custom one-off hoops that I made, all brushed nickel by Ogden Chrome. And then obviously kicker. Kickers on everything we build because they have some cool stuff. B&M shifter, you can't go without the B&M shifter. Like I said, everything like the dash, everything's all steel in this car. Console, dash. Yeah, I just love working with steel.